screen in front of you, please use the Zoom hand raise feature. First question from Brandon Esports GG.
Thank you very much. I'll address this to Coach Sala. Just to kind of, put it bluntly, 0 out of 10 pistol round victories in the tournament. I just want to get your thoughts on how that can happen, how the team lets that happen, and what you guys can kind of do to tighten that up before the league starts.
I think it's like watch back the pistols from the global game, and we kind of deem them like different rounds down to different things. Some of them were missing shots, some of them were, just misplays, and some of them were the enemy team having good pistols, right? I think today, we played 4 pistols, right? The case was the Haven first one should have won, unlucky. And I think it's just one of those things. It can be maybe confidence, it could be maybe going into it, having the idea in your head. I don't think it's as bad as it seems, but I think it's a thing that we need to fix. Maybe just more pistol aim practice, maybe having even better pistol rounds than we already had. But I think it's just a combination of different things, and just it's a bit of funny unluck. Yeah.
Next question from Diogo VLRGG.
Hey guys, commiserations on the loss. I've got a question for Bone Cold regarding Haven. The map overall seemed like it was just kind of in your range, and you guys seem to drop a lot of rounds to clutches. So what do you think you guys were liking that led to your loss?
I know we lost like a lot of clutch rounds on Haven. I think overall, how we were playing was like super good. But like Leviathan, they're like extremely good players, and you give them the finger, they will really like take your whole arm. I think for the Haven, there was surely there was like some misplays. There was also like the enemies like good map. So I think it could have went either way around, but I think this time, they were just hitting their shots, and we were doing misplays on clutches. So yeah, I think in the end, it's just slightly, tipped over to them on the overtime. But I think overall, we showed a really good Haven. So I'm not that I'm not sad, about the Haven game.
Thank you. Next question from Scott.esports.
Thank you. This question's also for Bone Cold. As you're one of only 10 players to have ever lifted a world championship trophy, based on your experience with Ascend and your experience with other teams, what's something this team still needs to unlock in order to reach that kind of level?
I think we've been, I think the amount, how good we've become has been it has been super consistent, but it hasn't been that we just went onto a tournament peaked super high. I feel like the amount of we've improved on all of the maps as a team has been tremendous, even for this tournament. So I think this is the way we're practicing is super good. I think we've been improving a lot since the last 4 months, and I feel for the VCT to start in Berlin, we'll make sure, because I feel it's super close. For example, losing 0 out of the 10 pistols, most of them being very coin flippy. I think there's just a few more things, a month more to prepare. I think we're going to be one of the top contenders in in Europe.
Thank you. Next question from Star Factory Sons of Chaos.
Hi guys, nice to meet you. Despite the defeat, how do you see your team level and Leviathan level, and what are you going to work on for the VCT? Asking for the coach, please.
For me, I think the first map was, in my opinion, a good indicator of our level, right? I think it's very easy to write off, the second map how it was. But personally, I think the second map kind of happened because of the first map, if that makes sense. I think playing on in front of a crowd, in front of a stage like this, a crowd like this is a first for a lot of people on the stage, including me. And I think that does obviously have an effect. That does obviously do things. And I think just getting more used to that will help us a lot, to be honest with you. I think it is something that's, that requires time and requires experience. And yeah, I think in terms of Leviathan's level, I think, coming in, we were, of course, the underdogs. I think, we went into Haven and played and showed that we're not that far off. I do think, they have more experience than us. And I think that's something we can gain and something we can catch up on with other teams. I think in terms of other stuff, we're not that far behind, I would personally say.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Next question from Diogo VLRGG.
This question is for Salah. It's a bit of an off-topic question, but I'd just like to get your opinion on the 2023 shuffle in MEA compared to the shuffle that happened over in NA.
So we're talking about the rosters, right? For franchise.
Correct.
Yeah, I think what happened was because of the way the American League was kind of done and the way the EU League was done. In EU, we saw a lot of, the same faces that were in the top already, just kind of joining different teams, just shuffling, if that makes sense, rather than it being, there wasn't a massive amount of new faces being added to the top scene, I would say. I think this amazing player Sender is one of them, one of the few. I think in NA, because it was, 5 American teams and 5 LATAM teams, there was a lot more, it basically ended up being a lot more condensed. So we saw rosters adding pieces they already needed or stuff like this. And so their rosters became more condensed. It became more, less just everyone going to different places, rather just everyone trying to make the best team possible, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I think it's just a difference of team sizes between the two leagues. And yeah, I think EU just everyone went to different places, new faces, same faces in new places. And I think in NA we saw a lot more, quote unquote super teams being built.
Thank you. Next question from Pedro at BlixGG.
Hi guys. Likewise, commiserations on the series loss. I got a question for Twiston. As a fellow Jet player in Pearl, you faced off against Taco Leo, who popped off. In that match specifically, I think there was a graphic shown in the midway point of the map in which Taco Leo had like a 477 ACS, and I just want to know your thoughts on facing him and how he performed in Pearl. And what about his performance, stood out from you based on your perspective?
I think he played great. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. He played great. His team's he had great support from his team, and they played better today as a team. So that's why he popped off. We couldn't deliver it today, unfortunately. But I see him as any other Jet player. Of course, I have respect for him. But I don't take it that serious, because I popped off as well, like games before that, and it's just only because of my team. And today we failed to deliver it as a team, and we win as a team, and we lose as a team. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next question from Scott at Esports.
Thank you. I have another question for Coach Sawa. Based on the other performances from EMEA teams you've seen in this tournament, and based on how well you yourselves have played, how do you think you stack up compared to some of the other teams in your league heading into VCT play? So
in terms of the EMEA Regional League, it's always hard to say before something like this, but I still do confidently believe we are at the top echelon, if that makes sense, in the top half. I think for us, this game is a lot about experience in front of a crowd. It's a lot about experience in an event like this, first right event for, I think, again, everyone here apart from Mr. Bone Cold. So I think experience is going to be the key for us. I think in terms of, strategically, aim-wise, player mechanics, all of these things, I think we're definitely close to the top. And I think even just from, scrims, even the way we played on Haven, even the way, from what we've showed already, I think a lot of people would say the same and believe the same.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is all the questions we have today. Thank you very much, Team Vitality, for joining us.